Alrighty, everybody, welcome into Flex and Stretch. Today, we're going to be moving towards a little, not so little, standing flow. It's going to involve a lot of balance as kind of the usual. So we'll start off a little bit of a flow, go through a couple circuits, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Seated comfortably, whatever that looks like in your body. And once you're seated nice and tall, let's allow the eyes to close for a moment. Just taking this opportunity to notice first what's happening around you. So if there's any sounds, any smells, or even how the temperature of the room feels against your skin. I understand that we're all practicing in a different environment than we typically would for this class. So we become aware of what's happening around us and then let that fade into the background, taking our full awareness onto what you're experiencing in your body. So scanning from the top of the head to the bottoms of the feet, acknowledging what you're feeling in the muscles and joints, what you're feeling in your head and in your belly. And then from the awareness of the body, we start to tune in, noticing the breath, acknowledging how fast or slow, how deep or shallow each breath we're taking goes. And from the breath, we begin to tune into the mind, noticing what's on your mind. How are you feeling mentally at this moment? Regardless of whether it's calm and steady or chaotic and a little anxious, wherever we are on the spectrum, our goal is to acknowledge without judging one way or the other. And now from there, let's go ahead and open the eyes. We're going to take 3 breaths all together, but we'll do it with the arms. So in our inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky and sigh out of the mouth as we lower the arms back down. Twice more like that. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Last time, inhaling up. And exhale down. Yeah, we're going to start to twist over to the right. So let's take our left arm across the body onto that right knee. And our right arm reaches back, sitting up nice and tall for a little seated twist. And just relaxing those shoulders down away from the ears, sitting up a little bit taller for one more breath. Next inhale, we come through center. And then exhale, twisting over to the other side now. Again, sitting up tall like there's a string attached to the top of our head. Shoulders are pressed down away from the ears. Last breath. And next inhale, we come back into center. And we make our way onto all fours, finding our tabletop. All right, once you're in your tabletop, we spread our fingers nice and wide, pressing our palms firmly down into the ground. We'll start with a few rounds of our cat and cow poses. So on the inhale, we drop the belly, lift the chest to look forward. And as we exhale, rounding the chin in towards the chest. Good. Inhale, arching the back, lifting the chin. And exhale, spreading our shoulder blades nice and wide. One more time, inhaling into cow. And exhaling cat. We start to find our neutral spine. And let's sit the hips back onto the heels, reaching your arms out long into a child's pose. Making this active by reaching your fingers further and further forward, pressing the hips further and further back. Now start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, placing the left hand on top of the right. And as we press the hips back, we start to feel a little stretch on the left side of our torso. Walking the hands over to the other side, right hand on top of the left. And again, this time feeling the stretch on the right side of our torso. And back into center. Start to come all the way down onto your belly. And once you arrive, we lift our chest into cobra, pressing our hips into the mat. And exhaling back into our child's pose. Twice more like that. Inhaling forward and lift into our back bend. Exhaling child's pose. Last time, inhaling forward into our back bend. And exhale, child's pose. From here, we shift all the way forward, finding our plank pose. Nice straight legs, firming up our bum, engaging your abs. And then we lift the hips all the way up and back into our first downward dog. Feel free to spread your feet a little bit wider. Take whatever movements feel good in your body. We'll be here for about 6 breaths. All I ask is that we continue to press those knuckles right where the fingers meet the palms firmly down into the ground. Last breath here. And from our downward facing dog, we start to walk the feet all the way to the front of your mat. Bending the knees as much as we need to, letting our belly rest on the thighs, forward fold. And then with a nice deep bend in the knees, we roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, coming to stand. Taking a couple of rounds of our sun salutation. Let's inhale the arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway lift with a flat back. And exhale, fold. As the hands come down, let's step the right foot all the way back into a lunge. Making sure that our front heel is firmly resting down, pressing down into the mat. And we'll step back into a plank pose. Pausing here, firm glutes, firm abs. On our inhale, we shift the shoulders forward of the wrists, lowering our knees down, lower halfway down, chaturanga, and all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet on the mat, and as we inhale, lift into our cobra. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Let's float the right leg up to the sky, bending the knee, stacking that right hip on top of the left, finding a little hip opening here. On our next inhale, we straighten the right leg back, squaring the hips, and exhale, step it all the way forward, pausing forward breath. And then step to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reaching all the way to the sky. Exhaling, hands to your heart. And release. Once more like that. Inhaling tall. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling the hands down, stepping the left foot back, pausing forward breath. And then stepping our right foot back, finding a nice strong plank pose. Shifting our shoulders forward to the wrists, lower the knees, lower halfway down, hugging your elbows to your ribs, and release to the mat. Inhale, lifting into our cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. We'll float the left leg up to the sky, same thing, bending the knee, opening the hip, trying to stack the hip on top of your right. On our inhale, straighten our left leg back. And then step it forward between your hands, pausing forward breath. And step to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway lift. Exhaling forward fold. We inhale, reach the arms all the way to the sky, and on the exhale, forward fold. Last time through, inhaling halfway lift. Exhaling hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Lowering through your chaturanga, you can lower the knees if you like, and then inhale into our back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. From down dog, we bend our knees, look between your hands, exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway lift, flat back. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, we reach our arms all the way to the sky. And exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. Finding our B variation now, we take the feet about hip distance or closer. We'll start to set our hips down and back into chair pose, reach the arms forward and up. Now, if we imagine trying to drag our feet apart without them moving, we can firm up our outer glutes. Taking one more breath here. As we bring our hands down to the mat, step your right foot all the way back into a lunge, pausing here. On your next inhale, we reach the arms up to the sky, high lunge. One more breath. Exhaling, hands down to the mat. Step to the front of your mat. Start to sit our hips down and back, reach the arms to the sky, chair pose. Nice deep inhale. And exhale, hands to the mat, stepping our left foot back into our lunge. On your next inhale, we reach the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the mat, step forward. Sitting into our chair pose, we reach the arms forward and up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhaling, hands to the mat, step or hop your feet back. Finding your chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. And exhaling, downward dog. Let's flip the left leg up to the sky. And on your exhale, step it between your hands, warrior one. Back heel comes down, back leg nice and straight as we reach up to the sky. So just like our lunge, try to square your hips and shoulders forward, taking one more breath here. And exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back into your plank pose as you lower through chaturanga. Inhaling into our back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. Beautiful, everybody. Other side. Floating the right leg to the sky. And then step it forward between the hands, warrior one. Get back heel down. Pull the right hip back to square forward, reaching up tall. Last breath. And exhaling, hands to the mat. Stepping back. You can go straight to your down dog if you like, or take the chaturanga into your back bend. And then we're eating down dog. Option is always yours unless specifically stated otherwise. And even so, do what feels good. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look between your hands, and make your way forward to the front of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Sit the hips back into our chair as we reach our arms forward and up. Coming all the way up to stand and releasing our arms. All right. If you'd like to take a quick water break, feel free to do so. We're going to get into our first circuit. I am trying to be better about including breaks in there. But as always, if I do forget, do what feels good, and I'll probably see one of you on camera take water. I'm like, that's a good idea. All right, so I'll show you the first movement. Feel free to take your time, but we're going to sit into a chair pose, and then we're going to tap one leg to the side and then back. And then the other leg goes side and back. All right? So let's try that out. Sitting down into your chair, arms where you want them, and begin. Side and back, other one, side and back. Yeah. Now the idea here is not only to find the little balance in our legs, but we also want to keep our abs engaged. Yeah, keep a bend in whatever your supporting leg is. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. From here, we take a nice big step back with our right foot. I will try my best to remember what right and left means today. All right, from here, we're gonna take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, bend into our knees, and then lean forward and kick back. That's our movement. Reverse lunge and kick back. Yeah. Do what feels good in your body with your arms. Yeah. Trying our best every time we lean forward, firm belly, firm glutes. Yeah. And of course, looking for that momentary pause where we can find our balance. I know there was a few extra words, momentary pause. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch legs. Time begins. Now, bend and kick. Yeah, so unlike our warrior 3, you don't have to come all the way forward, chest parallel to the ground, straight leg. We just want to find that little glute squeeze. And I'm appreciating everybody moving at your own pace. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All the way up to stand. Our next movement is a curtsy lunge into a lateral lunge. So I'll demonstrate first. My left knee comes behind my right heel, so straight line. And then I step that same leg all the way over to the other side, bending my left knee. All right, let's do that all together. Curtsy lunge, big step across. Yeah. Now as you move, if whatever knees are bending, try to keep that heel firmly rooted down into the ground. There we go. Last 10 seconds. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and done. Other side. Ready. And begin. Curtsy into lateral lunge. So sometimes we lean really far forward. That's okay, as long as you have the engagement in your torso and your belly to support your back. Almost there, everybody. Last 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and done. Feel free to shake that out for just a moment. Next up is walkouts. So I'm going to take my feet about as wide as my mat, keeping my legs relatively straight. I hinge at the waist, walking out to a plank. And then for my plank, walk all the way in and up. Let's do that together, 30 seconds. Making sure each time we get to our plank, it is a nice, strong plank. So straight legs, straight arms. And as I always mention, and will forever do so, engaging your butt and firming up your belly. Imagine like there's a cummerbund of muscles all the way around your torso and firming them up. Last 3, 2, come all the way out to your plank pose. And then bring your knees down. Moving into a side plank. Let's bring our left forearm down to the mat. Palm is flat. All right. Go ahead and lift your hips up. If you can, reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Time begins now. Either hold here or take that right arm, reach it under your left armpit, and then swipe it to the sky. And whatever variation of your side plank you're in, try to keep your hips up nice and high. Feel those obliques on both sides of your torso working. Last 5, 3, 2, 1, other side. All right, time begins now. Whatever variation you took on the first side, see if you can do the same one on this side. It may not always be the case, but if we can, let's take advantage of it. 10 seconds. Last. 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. Coming onto your back now. Let's see what everybody's face looks like. Yeah. All right, once you're on your back, we're starting off with flutter kicks. So if you prefer, you can tuck your arms underneath your hips, palms down, or arms by your side, but press your low back down into the ground and begin fluttering the legs up and down. Now our legs, they're going to keep doing what they do. So bring your awareness onto your core. Can we press our low back down even more? Even if you need to lift the legs up higher. We can hang out here all day, but we won't. 8 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's make our way all the way up to stand. We're going to do that one more time with a couple modifications. Where are we at? Starting with our reverse lunge to kickback. Our modification is, instead of leaning forward and lifting up, if you prefer, you can do a little knee drive. All right, time begins now. So again, either lunge into our kickback or lunge and then lift the knee up. How do you know which one to choose? Don't think about it, just do it. Almost there. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Switch legs. And begin. 30 seconds. Nice. I know the question may come up, but these are two different movements. Yes and no. They're still working the same parts of our body. It's just a matter of whether you want that extra power to come up or you want that extra squeeze in your bum. Only you know the answer to that. Last. 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. Curtsy lunge. So this time in our curtsy, we're going to add a kick and lunge. All right, ready, and begin. Curtsy and lift. If your balance is a little off, you can tap your foot before you go. But our goal is not to lean over to the side. You are not a little teapot. Keep your body tall, and even if we only kick the leg a couple inches off the ground, work within your range of motion. Last. 5, 3, 2, 1, and other side, right into it. Nice. Not only are we thinking about kicking it up, but we're also controlling the leg back down. That's where our balance will come from. 10 seconds left. This is our last time through this circuit. 3, 2, 1, and time. Back of your mat. We're taking our walkout. If you want to add a push-up this time, you're more than welcome, but not required. All right, you ready? And begin. All the way out to your plank. Option for push-up. And back in and up. Now, if that's not working for you this time, you're more than welcome to go from your plank into a downward facing dog. That way you don't have to move your hands, but we still want to keep our abs engaged. 10 seconds left. All right, next time you're in your plank pose, wait for it. And then bring your knees down. Taking our side plank on the right forearm. So right forearm down, palm down. Go ahead and lift your hips up. And time begins now. So again, if you like, you can reach the arm underneath your armpit. Or if you prefer, you can take a little knee to elbow action. Maybe you do both of them a couple times and figure out which works for your body. Awesome work, everybody. Nice, keep those hips up. Stay nice and strong in that shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, other side. Ready? And begin. Hips up, whatever variation you just took. Let's find out on the other side. Maybe it's the knee to elbow. Maybe it's the reach under. Or maybe we need all of our focus to just stay here strong. There's no right or wrong answer. Just keep pressing your hips forward and up to the sky. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Coming onto our backs once again. Getting ready for our flutter kicks. All right, place your arms where you like them, under the hips or beside them, and begin. So again, maybe lifting the legs a little bit higher is the answer to getting your back down into the ground. All right, now here's how we're gonna change this up. When I give you the cue, you're gonna roll onto your belly, paddling out the arms and legs. All right? And roll onto your stomach. Arms and legs out long, and begin paddling them all up and down. Like your Frankenstein's monster trying to learn how to tread water. Hug those ankles together a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's sit the hips back and down to the heels for child's pose. Also a good opportunity to grab water or a towel if you need before we move into our next part of the flow. Or whatever you're doing right now, deep inhalations and long exhalations. All right, last 3 breaths here. From your child's pose, begin to make your way into downward dog. Please and thank you. From down dog, we'll bend the knees, look between your hands, exhale, step or hop to the front. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhaling, fold. Start to sit your hips down into a chair as we reach the arms forward and up. We'll take a nice deep breath here. And then hands come down, stepping our right foot back. Get ready for your lunge. We inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Now start to lean forward, arms back by our sides, and lifting up our back leg for warrior 3. So straighten your legs as much as you can, square your hips to the mat, and gently step back into our lunge. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling forward into our warrior 3. Now as we start to stand up, grab hold of the right ankle with the right hand. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Begin to kick your right foot into the hand, leaning slightly forward for a back bend in our dancer's pose. One more nice deep breath here. And then come out back into our lunge, reaching the arms up to the sky. Nice deep breath here. Exhaling, hands down to the mat. Now press your right hand down, side plank on the right side, so maybe lift the left arm and leg. As the left hand comes back to the mat, we're finding our fallen triangle, so kick your left foot straight out to the right. And you can float the right arm up to the sky if you like. The hand comes back down into the mat. Reaching your left leg up and back. Start to bend into the knee, open the hips. You can stay here. Or flip your dog into wild thing. Toes come to the ground, hips to the sky, reaching forward. The hand comes back to the mat, reaching our left leg up and back. And then step all the way forward between the hands. Warrior 2. So our left foot is forward, right toe is pointing to the side, nice straight back leg. If your butt's sticking out, tuck it under, nice firm belly, firm glutes. On the inhale, we'll flip the left palm to the sky, reaching up and back, reverse warrior. On the exhale, forearm to thigh, side angle pose. One more time, inhaling, reverse warrior. Exhaling, side angle. Finding our warrior two. We straighten the front leg, reach forward, hip shift back. Triangle pose, left hand to shin, right arm to sky. Now check out your ribs. Are they flaring wide? If so, knit them together like a shoelace being tightened. Last breath. Right hand comes into the hip as we look forward. Left hand reaches as we lift our back leg up. Half moon pose. Feel free to float your right arm to the sky. You can modify your half moon as much as you would like. So if you want to add more, maybe we play with floating the bottom hand or finding your Japasana, whatever you want. One more breath. Gently step back into our warrior two. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, window the hands down to the mat, stepping back into our plank as we lower through chaturanga. Inhaling into back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. Yeah, 3 more breaths here. If you find yourself slightly winded, take a nice deep inhale and then audibly sigh out of the mouth. Once you're ready, we bend the knees, look between the hands, make your way to the front of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Sitting the hips down into our chair, float the arms forward and up. And then the hands come down, stepping our left foot back into our lunge. And as you are ready, reaching our arms all the way up to the sky. Firm belly, trying to lift your hip points up towards your ribs. As we lean forward, reach the arms back, lift the back leg, warrior three. Can you lift your back leg a little bit higher? Step back into your lunge, reach the arms up. And then forward into our warrior three. From warrior three, start to bend into that left knee, grabbing hold, reaching the right arm up to the sky. As we kick the foot into the hand, dipping forward into our back bend, dancer's pose. One more breath. Gently step all the way back into your lunge. Nice deep inhale, and as an exhale, hands come down to the mat. Plant your left hand for our side plank, so roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Whatever expression of a side plank you'd like. And as the hand comes back to the mat, we extend our right leg straight out to the left. Making a nice big L with our legs, maybe floating your left arm up to the sky. Returning the hand to the mat as we reach our right leg up and back. Start to bend your knees, stacking your hips as we did earlier. Stay here or flip your dog into wild thing, extending your hips up towards the sky. With as much control, reach the leg up and back, both hands on the mat. And then step forward, warrior two. Yeah, so I know there's a lot going on. We're going to do this flow one more time. It'll make a lot more sense the second time around, I promise. On the inhale, flip the right palm, reaching up and back, reverse warrior. Exhaling, side angle pose. One more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhaling, side angle. Finding our warrior two as we straighten the front leg. Shift forward, hips back. Triangle pose. It's not about how low to the ground you can touch, but how much length we can extend out through our bodies. Left hand comes into your left hip, bend your front knee, reach forward. half moon pose as we lift the back leg, maybe floating the left arm. Are your ribs flaring out right now? I know this is the last time you want to hear me say that, but engage your ribs even more. Last breath. And gently step back into our warrior two. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Stepping back into your plank. Finding chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. You have about 6 breaths or so you can stay in your down dog, you can take child's pose, whatever your body says that it needs right now. But as always, deep inhalations and long exhalations. Last 2 breaths. If you're in child's pose, let's make our way into downward dog. And then on your inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, step or hop to the front. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Let's come all the way up to stand and reach the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. All right. You already know what to expect now. We're going to take it pretty much 1 breath per movement with the exception of a couple of the bigger ones. So as you're ready, sit your hips down and back as we reach the arms up to the sky, chair pose. On your exhale, hands down, step back, lunge. Next inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, high lunge. And then exhale, forward, lift the back leg, warrior 3. 1 more time, step back, lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Start to bend into that right knee. You can grab the outer or inner ankle, left arm to the sky. Start to dip forward, kicking the foot into the hand, dancer's pose. 1 more breath. Without flinging, carefully step back, high lunge, nice deep inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, side plank on the right arm, lifting the leg, lifting the arm up. And then hand comes to the mat, kick the foot out to the right, fall in triangle. Good, so take your time to get set up. Maybe float the right arm to the sky. But then on your next exhale, hand comes down, lift the leg up and back. And then bend your knee, wild thing, flip your dog, extend the hips to the sky. Hand comes back to the mat, reaching your left leg up and back. Step forward between your hands, warrior 2. Yeah. Next inhale, flip the left palm, reaching up and back, reverse forward. Exhaling, side angle. 2 more times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Last one, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Finding your warrior 2 as we straighten the front leg. Shifts forward, hips back, triangle pose. You can keep your right hand extended to the sky this time if you like, but bend the front knee, lift up the back leg, half moon pose. 1 more breath. And then gently step back into our warrior 2. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands to the mat, stepping back into your plank. Lowering through chaturanga. Inhaling into back bend. Exhaling, down dog. We'll take 4 more nice deep breaths here. From down dog, on your inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, step or hop forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Sitting our hips down into chair, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands down, left foot back. Inhale, reaching our arms up to the sky. Exhale, warrior three. Where did we go? Sorry. Gently step back, high lunge. And warrior three once again. As we bend into the left knee, lifting our chest upright, grab the ankle, right arm to the sky. Dip forward, kicking the foot into the hand, dancer pose. Gently step all the way back, high lunge. Exhaling, hands to the mat. Side plank, left hand. Right hand comes to the mat as we kick the right foot out to the left. Yeah, following triangle, left arm up to the sky. As we release it down, reach your right leg up and back. Bending the knee, opening the hips as we flip our dog into wild thing. Hand comes to the mat, reaching the right leg up and back. And step it forward between your hands. Warrior two. On the inhale, we reach up and back, reverse warrior. Exhaling into our side angle. Twice more, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Last one, reverse warrior. And side angle. Coming up into our warrior two, straighten the front leg. Hips back, arm forward, triangle pose. Sorry about the helicopter in the back. They're always here. All right, start to bend into your front knee, lift your back leg up. Half moon pose. Keep that top leg active, keep your core engaged. As we gently step back into warrior two, nice deep inhale. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Stepping back into your plank. As we lower through chaturanga. Inhaling into back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. Feel free to come down into our child's pose. You've got 5 breaths. So not only do we think about the deep inhalations and long exhalations, but as we take those long exhalations, can you feel your heart rate start to come down slightly? Every inhalation it naturally increases. Every exhale it naturally relaxes. Last breath here. Yeah. And now come onto your knees. I'll demonstrate this next part. So it's basically, this first movement is pretty much a child's pose where we just came from. But we're going to come into it from a plank pose. I keep my toes tucked under. I'm just going to sit my hips all the way back towards my heels, but my knees don't touch the ground. And then forward into my plank. All right, let's take that all together. 30 seconds, starting in our plank. And begin. Hips back. Shift to plank. Yeah. Now make sure that your knees are staying parallel to one another. Even if they go a little bit wider to make space for your body, that's okay. But we want to avoid them collapsing in towards one another. So think about your knees as cousins. Don't let your cousins kiss. Yeah, keep them separated. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, find your plank pose. We lift the hips up and back and reach one arm to opposite leg. Back into our plank. Lift up and other arm to other leg. And plank. Yeah. So each time we lift the hips, we cross the arm to the opposite side of the body. If your wrists, shoulders, or elbows just aren't having that, just like we did before, both hands can stay down. But if you can, take advantage of this little twist. Last 5, 3, 2, 1, and time. Bring your knees down. Next up is our side kick through. So from our tabletop, my knees are actually lifted an inch off the ground. Whatever this bottom leg, if I kick my left leg to the right, I'm going to tap it over to the right. Yeah. And then we can do the same thing other side. Just shifting hip side to side. Let's give it a shot. Now, 30 seconds. Side to side. Yeah. You're just thinking about your tailbone as a little windshield wiper, making this arc from one side to the other. Halfway there. Now try not to let your knees stay too high off the ground. You want to keep them relatively low as we pass through center. 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's come on to our butts. All right, this is our crab kick through. So you can either have your fingers forward, which is going to be a lot, or turn your fingers out to the sides. Feet are flat, arms are straight. From here, you can either kick or kick and tap opposite leg, whichever you want. Let's begin in 30 seconds. Consciously and mindfully placing your hands onto the mat, making sure just like before that all of your knuckles are pressing down into the ground. Good, 8 seconds left. Try not to collapse in those shoulders. Last 3, 2, 1, and time. Sitting your butt down. All right. Let's come onto all fours one last time. This time is for passive posture. Starting with our thread the needle, we inhale the left arm out to the side, and then exhale, take it under the right arm, shoulder and head come down to the mat. You can keep your right hand where it is or reach it out long, even wrap it around the small of your back, whatever feels good for you. And we just want to find a stretch on the outer left shoulder, spreading out the space inside that shoulder blade for 2 more breaths. The right hand comes back down into the mat as we float the left fingertips all the way to the sky and release it to the mat. Other side, right arm out, and exhale it onto the left shoulder and head down to the mat. Placing your the left arm where it feels most appropriate. Final 2 breaths. We place the left hand down, floating the right fingertips up to the sky, and release it to the mat. Let's come to sit on our bums now. We'll start off with the legs nice and long in front of us, just as a transition now. So we'll start to bend into the right knee. Sole of the foot comes into the inner left thigh, the knee goes outwards. Go ahead and square your chest towards your toes. Inhale nice and tall, and as we exhale, fold over the left leg for our Janu Shirshasana. And making sure that we're in that place where we can still allow ourselves the deep breath. One more breath here. Let's find a nice flat back and then come all the way upright. Crossing the right foot over the left thigh for our half seated twist or seated half twist. Right arm comes behind us, and if you want to, slide your elbow to the outside of your right knee. But sitting up nice and tall every inhale, twisting a little bit further every exhale. 3 more breaths. Next inhale, we bring the hands over to the left side, bowing gently forward. And all the way back up. Let's take that on the other side. Right leg straight, sole of the left foot into the inner thigh as that knee falls open. Once again, square your chest towards your right toes, inhaling tall and exhale, fold over. Last 3 breaths. Next inhale, we find our flat back as we come all the way up, crossing the left foot over the right thigh. As we reach the left arm back, again, either hug the knee or slide your right elbow to the outside of your knee. And sitting up nice and tall. And starting to notice, where's our mind drift off to once things slow down? Are we able to still be present in your space, whether you're focusing on your surroundings, your body, your breath, or your mind? We just do so intentionally. Next inhale, arms come all the way to the right, leaning gently forward. And all the way back up. Let's uncross the legs. We're going to take the feet wide though. So there's one extra little thing before we come down onto our backs. You don't want the legs as wide as you can possibly go. Just a nice, however much feels comfortable. Let's reach the arms forward. Sitting up nice and tall. So these entire movements, we want to think about leaning forward at our waist as opposed to rounding forward. All right? So take a nice deep inhale. And as we exhale, reach straight to the front. And coming back up. Turning towards the right leg, we lean forward and come back up. Facing the left leg, lean forward and up. Legs come together and reach forward and up. One more time, wide legs. We reach forward and up, over to the left, forward and up, over to the right, forward and up, legs together, forward. And as we come up, bend into your knees, feet are flat. And then hollow out the belly, round your chin to your chest as we lower down one vertebrae at a time until we're all the way in the backs with our knees in the chest. Feel free to gently rock from side to side if that's what your body says it needs. Starting to find our happy baby pose. You can grab hold of the knees, you can grab hold of the ankles, toes, whatever feels good. But press your tailbone down to the ground. Feeling the little arch of your back lift up. And as we let that go, soles of the feet come onto the mat. Once again, arms are wide. We'll scoot the hips over to the left side of your mat, letting the knees fall to the right for a reclined twist. Once you find your twist, we let go of any engagement, anything we're holding on to, especially around the hips and thighs. Even from the shoulders down to the arms. One more breath here. Next inhalation, we come through center, scooting the hips over to the right and letting the knees fall to the left. But again, we allow this to be passive, letting gravity do the work for us. Just feeling the weight of your body. Last 2 breaths. On your inhalation, we come back into center. Bringing our knees into the chest one more time, hugging it in nice and tight as we take a nice deep inhalation, holding it in for 3, 2, 1, and exhaling out long for our Shavasana. Arms and legs go long and wide. It feels good in your body. If there's anything touching you, feel free to move it out of your way. And once you've settled into stillness And the eyes are closed, the breath becomes natural. Finding a sense of softness in every single toe. Letting that softness travel up through the foot and ankle. Noticing the heaviness of our legs. The release of the muscles in and around your hips. Can we relax the backside any more? Softening from the low back all the way up to the back of the neck. Noticing a release of our fingers. The softness of our palms and hands up to the wrists. Acknowledging the heaviness of the arms and shoulders. As we relax the throat, relax your jaw. The tongue flows freely in the mouth. Smoothing out the wrinkles across the nose, the brow, and your forehead. And begin to notice that gentle rise and fall of your belly or chest with each breath. Beginning to watch the breath from the moment that passes across your upper lip. Noticing the coolness going through the nostrils, passing through the back of the throat, and then watching the warmth of each exhalation as it passes back out. Now in this moment of calm, in this moment of softness, how does your body feel? How do you feel mentally in this moment? How are you emotionally in this moment? We almost always take this moment to acknowledge what we're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Not saying that this specific moment is going to solve every issue, but it starts with an awareness of what we feel and an awareness of how we feel after whatever it is that we do. But now we'll start to bring movement back into the fingers and toes, circling through your wrists and ankles. And with a nice deep inhale, we reach the arms and legs nice and long for a big stretch. Exhaling your knees in, rolling onto your right side, pausing until you feel ready to come to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like in your body. As we sit up nice and tall, let's bring the hands to the center of the chest. First, thanking yourselves for giving yourself an hour of your day to dedicate to this practice. And then I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in, sharing your time, patience, and energy. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.